Okay, besties, rumor alert. It looks like Kody Brown might be back in the headlines again. And this time, it's not about the old wives or Robyn's tears. There's a new name floating around, and it's connected to a message that Kody supposedly got from a woman who wanted to restore polygamy in his life. I know, it sounds like something out of a TLC script, but according to insiders and fan chatter, this woman didn't just message him once, she's allegedly been in contact for weeks. And guess what? The timing lines up perfectly with the filming of season 20. Now, the wild part here is that Kody reportedly shared this proposal email with Robyn, framing it as a joke at first. But if you've been watching long enough, you know Kody doesn't joke about polygamy unless there's a reason. Remember, Robyn was the one who said she'd only marry him because he was a polygamist. So if there's even a hint that someone else is interested in joining their marriage, that's not just gossip, that's emotional dynamite. Some fans feel this whole new wife angle could be a way for TLC to keep the storyline alive now that most of the other wives have left. Christine's remarried, Janelle's done, Mary's out, so what's left? Kody and Robyn trying to convince the audience that their love story is still exciting. But if you're telling me they're adding a mystery woman into the mix, that's not a love story anymore. That's desperation dressed up as a plot twist. Here's what's interesting. Though, people close to the Browns claim Kody has been bringing a plural marriage more often lately, and not in a nostalgic way, in a testing the waters way. That's classic Kody behavior. He plants a seed, watches the reaction, and then pretends he didn't mean it if it backfires. But Robyn? She's not handling it well. She's been quiet lately, which is usually her sign that something big is brewing, and honestly, if this woman is real and she did reach out to him, that says a lot about how Kody still views himself. He still wants to be seen as the prophet of plural love, even after losing half his family to his ego. The irony, though? The one person he fought to keep, Robyn, might be Theon most threatened by the very idea of another wife. Because if Robyn's status as the favorite is gone, what is left of her story? So, is this an overzealous woman merely trying to get on the show, or is she someone with some actual linkage to Kody's old church? Some claim she's from the AUB community, the very one that pushed polygamy as the path to heaven. If true, then it's not just a message, but rather a test that could very well push Robyn to her breaking point, revealing just how fragile their soulmate marriage actually is. Part 2 is going to be where things start to unravel. Because when you look at how Robyn reacts to the idea of another wife, it's not love anymore. It's fear. And that fear might just be the beginning of the end for Kody's last standing marriage. So here is where it gets messy. Besties, because part 2 of this so-called new wife situation takes us straight into Robyn's reaction. And let me tell you, she is not taking it well. People say Robyn went from pretending to be laughing about the woman's email to full-on panic mode when she realized that Kody might actually be entertaining the idea. I don't mean panic as in jealous girlfriend energy. I mean the kind of fear when your whole identity could collapse if the storyline changes. So, all of Robyn's life with Kody, her entire identity, within her plural family, had been built off this idea that she was the one who stayed. She was the loyal wife, the obedient partner, the one who believed in their mission even when everyone else walked away. And here comes Kody sniffing around the idea of polygamy again, and that erases everything she stood on. Suddenly, she's not the final wife. She's just another number in Kody's unfinished story. Now, here's the wild twist. Insiders say Kody's been hinting at the restoration of family order, which sounds suspiciously like code for, maybe it's time to add another wife. And that's what's been making Robyn spiral. The man she defended, protected, and isolated herself for is now talking about reopening the door she thought she'd locked for good. It's not just rhetoric either. People have picked up on subtle changes. Kody's been more active in some of the online church groups again, the ones connected to the AUB and polygamy circles, throwing around divine structure and return to principle. That is not random spiritual talk. That is Kody rewriting his public image, from failed husband to chosen leader again. Meanwhile, Robyn's been trying to hold the fort together, but even she knows their fan base has turned on them. Viewers are calling her manipulative, out of touch, even fake crying to stay relevant. And honestly, maybe the tears aren't fake. Maybe they're from the realization that Theon she fought to keep has already emotionally left her. Because if Kody's out there fantasizing about a new wife, even as a theory, that's not a marriage. That's damage control. Here's what I really think is happening. TLC sees the numbers going down. The Brown family's fractured, the tension of the show is fading, and Kody's ego is starving for attention. So what do? They pull the classic reality TV move, throw a mystery woman into the mix, and watch the internet explode. It's good television, sure, but it's cruel reality for the people still stuck living in Kody's world. And you know who I feel for? Christine and Janelle. They escaped the circus, but now they have to watch the replay from afar, another woman getting caught in the same pattern. It's like déjà vu, except this time, the audience already knows how it ends. So, is this new wife real? Maybe. Or maybe she's just the ghost of Kody's old delusions coming back to haunt him. Either way, this isn't a love story. It's a rerun with better lighting and worse decisions. And as much as Kody wants to look like he's back in control, the truth is, every move he makes just proves how much control he's already lost. This is where we stop asking whether Kody Brown has a new wife and start asking what this new wife storyline actually means for the Sister Wives universe. Because it's not just gossip anymore, it's strategy. Everything happening right now feels like a last-ditch effort to keep the cameras rolling. And if you look close enough, you can see the panic behind the smiles. Let's start with Kody himself. He's been, for years, the self-declared patriarch, the man with the plan, the one who said God himself commissioned him to build a polygamist legacy. But what does he have left now? One wife, a shrinking fan base, and kids who barely speak to him. So this idea of a new wife, it is not about love. It's survival. It's Kody trying to resurrect his brand, to make himself relevant again by pretending he still has options. That's why he keeps talking about women reaching out or emails from admirers. It's ego-fuel dressed as divine destiny. And Robyn? She's stuck. You can see it in every new clip, every interview. She looks like someone who's realizing the role she fought so hard to play doesn't exist anymore. The favorite wife storyline only works when there are other wives to compete with, and now that everyone else is gone, her only rival is Kody's imagination. She knows if another woman enters the picture, even hypothetically, her leverage disappears. So what does she do? She clings harder, more tears, more talk about faith, more scenes about being misunderstood. But behind the scenes, she's terrified that TLC might actually like the new wife idea because it brings drama, and drama is money. Meanwhile, the network sees gold. A new wife equals fresh episodes, new faces, more viral moments. But what they don't understand or respect is that the audience has changed. Viewers aren't buying the family of faith act anymore. They are watching for the crash. They want closure, not another character to drag through the same pain. And if TLC pushes this Kody's new wife storyline too far, it might actually destroy what's left of the show's credibility. Meanwhile, Christine and Janelle are sitting back with popcorn. They've moved on, started new chapters, and have actually built lives for themselves. It's almost poetic the way they watch Kody continue to repeat the same mistakes over and over again. Christine's remarried, Janelle is rebuilding her independence, and they both have that quiet satisfaction of knowing they escaped before the implosion. They don't have to fight for screen time anymore. They've already won the moral battle. The saddest part of all that? The kids. If Kody really does entertain another wife, he's just proving what his older children have said for years, that he values attention more than family. The new wife idea doesn't bring healing. It reopens old wounds. And even if it is a storyline, the message is still the same. He hasn't learned a thing. So here it goes. Besties. Whether this new wife is a real, invented, or fantasy family edition created by Kody or the producers is irrelevant. What does matter is the fact that this storyline proves just how desperate Brown's legacy has become. The show that once started with a storyline based on faith and family transformed into a mirror reflecting Kody's downfall, one decision, one manipulation, and one storyline at a time. And as much as TLC might want to tease a comeback, you can't resurrect something that's already spiritually dead. The viewers have grown up, the wives have moved on, and Kody is still trying to play a role that no longer fits. Of course, if this was the start of Season 20's big twist, it's not a love story. It's the last chapter. Because when new wife rumors are all you have left, that's how you know the old life is really over. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly how this whole story was always supposed to end up.